Hello, I'm Johan.
And Karina.
And this is Show Us Your Cat on Joyrider TV.
Hello, yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, back with episode 111 of Show Us Your Cat. Thank you very much to Johan and Karina for that strong introduction. If you would like to send me a strong introduction for an upcoming episode of Show Us Your Cat, then I think you know what you need to do. Yes, I'm coming to you from Wild Wind on the Greek island of Lefkos, where we have still been enjoying some champagne sailing, although this past week the wind has gone a little bit off the boil, to be honest. There's been, of course, a lot of videos coming out from Joyrider TV since the last episode of Show Us Your Cat. There was some great 360 footage on the Hobie 16 with the camera on the head, using the whole body as a camera mount. And then I'm actually out at the moment just filming the capsizing with the spinnaker video, where I actually looked at if it is possible to write a Hobie Tiger or F18 single-handed in quite a light wind using the capsize writing bag. As you may have seen in that capsize video, it's not always so easy to get back on an F18 catamaran. Now, here's Johan with his Wildcat with an innovative idea for how to get back on. Over to you, Johan.
8mm cord from the dolphin striker to the bridle on the left side with a knot here. I can pull it this way, set my foot on it, and I can get easy access to my boat, and then everything is here back to normal.
So of course we're here for some Show Us Your Cat, where we've got an absolute humdinger lined up for you this week. Show Us Your Cat is of course where we take a look around the world at your boats and where it is that you sail them. If you'd like to be featured in an upcoming episode of Show Us Your Cat, then that would be absolutely fantastic, because it is your contributions to the programme that's kept it going for as long as it has been. So if you want to get involved, just send me some pictures, some video of your boat, perhaps with some sort of description of what it is you like to do with your boat, when you got it, what work you've done to it, that kind of thing. That would be fantastic. But right now it's time to dive in to Show Us Your Cat, and we're going to take a look at what we're looking at in this week's Show Us Your Cat on Joyrider TV. Okay, so we're starting off this week in Italy, near to Latina. We have Mario, who is representing the Hobie Fleet 340 at Costa Pontina. Fleet 340 consists entirely of Hobie 16s who enjoy some fantastic sailing over on the west coast of Italy. Here in the spacious boat park, we can see that the club consists entirely of Hobie 16s, and the boat park is right on the water's edge. Very nice venue there. There are quite a wide range of different vintages of Hobie 16 represented here. There are some 1980s classics, right through to some newer boats from the last 5 years. And these guys in the club truly represent the fun, enthusiastic side of Hobie sailing. Hopefully, plenty of time now to enjoy more champagne sailing. Thanks very much, Mario, and to everyone else at Hobie Fleet 340 for sending us in those pictures. Next, we're heading across to the USA, to Rockford, Illinois, to Pierce Lake at Rock Cut State Park, where we have Brian and Adam. Now Brian and Adam started out with a 1977 Hobie 16, absolutely sending it across Pierce Lake here. They say the lake is really way too small for the Hobie 16, but it's good practice because they have to tack and jibe a lot more frequently. When you're on a good rip, it's not long before you reach the other side. That is, of course, if you don't pitch pole. As you can see, this big pitch pole was way too much for this 77. And unfortunately, that hull is never going to float again. They managed to find a 78 to replace the written off boat. The restoration began. When they initially found the boat, it had a lot of missing parts, but the hull seemed mostly good. The prior owner had put some light duty hardware on the stays. Thankfully, he never tried to sail it like that. These were some hardware store turnbuckles, which are definitely not up to the task. There was one soft spot on the port hull. Some soft spots cause hull failure like they'd previously experienced. So Hobie recommended a repair where you drill a lot of holes through the top layer and the foam and then inject resin. The next day, the resin in the cup was nice and hard, but the soft spot seemed worse. So Brian decided to investigate and he cut a hatch slightly larger than the soft spot area. He did a practice cut on a piece of the failed hull. Note the nifty Dremel attachment that lets him cut a circle and control the depth. Nice work. Then the discovery that the foam was wet and there was no way for that to be bonded with the epoxy. So Brian scraped off the foam, cut a slot in the bottom layer of glass. This let Brian get the heat gun in there with a heat of 120 Fahrenheit to dry her out. He used the top hatch as a patch. It was about the right size and shape, and bonded it to the underside using 5-minute epoxy. Now here Brian channeled his buddy Al G from Sikorsky and beveled the edges using an angle sander. Next he did a layup over the whole thing so far with one ply cut square and one on a 45-degree bias. One of his friends had some spare sawdust which he screened to make flocks, basically a filler paste which is in the resin mixed with the sawdust, great for thickening up. Then he sanded it down. He harvested some foam core from the failed hull, glued the pieces together, carefully shaped it and bonded it. Now this is Brian's cheap vacuum bag setup. He used a trash bag, some silver HVAC tape and a towel for the breather and a Harbour freight car AC vacuum pump. You can see it squished down pretty nicely there. Now here's the bag coming off. He didn't try to save it for another use. So then Brian made an innovative sanding block out of some fiberglass skin that was left over, so it was the right shape for the hull. Once that was sanded back, he put 3 plies over the whole thing, 2 cut straight, and the one in the middle is on a 45-degree bias. And then once that had cured, it was time for paint. And now that's the first stage of this restoration done. We look forward to seeing what happens next with Brian and Adam's 1978 Hobie 16. Thanks for taking the time to show us those pictures, Brian, and good luck with the rest of the refurb. And next, we're heading over to the south coast of the UK, to Dorset, to Poole Yacht Club. And this is one for Show Us Your Event. And this is the 2021 British Hobie 16 National Championships. The Hobie 16 class has been making a comeback in 2021 in the UK. Back in 2019, they had their first nationals in a while, and the perfect weekend reminded everybody of what a fun and challenging class the Hobie 16 is. Many of the regular Hobie 16 racers who loved this class years ago returned to the 2019 event, and it was great to see them come back again in 2021. This time they were accompanied by a keen set of younger sailors, many of them family members who had been introduced to the sport by their parents. Very nice. 23 Hobie 16s attended the event. It was great to see a mixture of boats, some from as far back as the 1980s, and went to prove that a well-sailed Hobie 16 can be competitive no matter of its age. The event had challenging gusty conditions with unpredictable wind shifts and wind speeds varying from 8 to 20 knots over the 3 days. Some absolute 80s classics, right through to some quite recent boats looking factory fresh. After 3 days of racing, Lloyd and Claire finished in first place after a very consistent performance. And then in second place, the multiple-time Hobie 16 and 14 national champion Mark, sailing with his daughter Freya, very close behind for second place. The third and fourth positions were actually tied for points, with Simon and Aaron getting third on countback, putting ex-Wildwind instructors Jacobo and Johnny in fourth. Very well done, guys, great result there. All the sailors taking part and the crew from Poole Yacht Club made this a great event with a very welcoming family atmosphere. There were some great socials and it was the perfect Hobie event all round. Poole Yacht Club was an excellent venue, and now the British Class Association are looking forward to starting a whole race series for 2022. We look forward to seeing how well that goes. Thank you very much to Hazel and to Simon for sending in those great pictures and all the information. Look forward to seeing you on the start line. So there we go. So good to see how well that British Hobie 16 class revival is going. If I could get to the 23 event or the 22 event, I would definitely be there with bells on. But thanks to everybody for contributing this week to this week's Show Us Your Cat. I will of course be back in 2 weeks with the next episode of Show Us Your Cat. So again, if you would like to be featured, I think you know what you need to do. Thanks again to everybody who's been supporting the channel, and I'll see you soon on Joyrider TV with some more.